Morning children, welcome to the new session, that is metallurgy part 2. Already in our previous class we studied what is metallurgy. Next we studied the various terms related to metallurgy, that is what is meant by mineral and what is meant by ore. I have given few examples for the ores and their formulas. Are you clear about that one? In this session we will learn steps involved in metallurgy. What are that? Steps involved. Right. What are the steps involved in metallurgy? Steps involved in metallurgy. The first step we follow is concentration of the ore. Don't get confused, first listen carefully. Concentration of the ore. It is also known as dressing the ore. Next, second one, extraction of crude metal. Crude metal from the ore. Next, the third one is refining the ore. So what are the three main stages involved here? Concentration of the ore. This is also known as dressing the ore. It doesn't mean that we are giving new clothes to the ore. Dressing in the sense, just like we are wearing the dress, it doesn't mean like that. Dressing in the sense, removing the unwanted impurities. Unwanted impurities. Why? Because we are extracting the ore from the earth crust. We are choosing the mineral, so from which we can extract the metal more economically and profitably at less time. Okay, that is considered as the ore. The mineral from which we can extract the metal more economically, okay, more economically and at a cheap cost. Okay, that is considered as the ore. Profitably and economically, that is considered as the ore. So it is associated with the impurities. What are present inside the earth crust? Clay is present, sand is present, soil is present, another impurities are present. So what we have to do? We have to get rid of these impurities. We have to remove these impurities. Okay. So what is meant by concentration or dressing the ore? Concentration or dressing is defined as removal of the unwanted impurities. Unwanted impurities. What is the definition? Removal of unwanted impurities. Unwanted impurities. What are the unwanted impurities? Like clay, soil and sand. Okay, others. Husk is also present. These are the unwanted impurities. These are to be removed from the ore in the beginning. Remember that ore in the sense, what is the definition given for ore? See this one. Ore is a mineral. I defined. Ore consists of metal and impurities. Metal plus impurities. You need only metal now. So what are to be eliminated? Impurities are to be eliminated. This process, initial removal of impurities from the ore, is known as concentration or dressing the ore. Okay, next come to the second point. Extraction of the crude metal from the ore. Extraction of crude metal from the ore. It involves two methods. Two processes are there. Two steps are there. What are the two steps? One is the oxidation. The second one is the reduction. Try to understand. Here I will define in details. Extraction of crude metal. It involves two steps. What are the two steps? First one is the oxidation. The second one is the reduction. In the oxidation process, what you are doing? You are converting the ore into metal oxide. Converting the concentrated ore to metal oxide. Okay, see this one. In the oxidation process, what you are doing? You are converting the concentrated ore to the metal oxide. So see this one. Here you follow roasting. The second one is calcination. What are the two steps here? Roasting. The second one is the calcination. Try to understand. Roasting and calcination. Are you clear? Make a note of it first. The point. See, oxidation and reduction. Oxidation, that is roasting. Another one is calcination. What is meant by roasting? First lesion here. This process we adopt only in the case of sulfide ores. In the case of sulfide ores. In the case of sulfide ores, we convert sulfide ores to metal oxide. Metal oxide. Here I am giving an example. See this one. Lead sulfide plus oxygen. You will get lead oxide plus sulfur dioxide. What is formed here? Sulfur dioxide. What you are doing? You are heating the sulfide ore in the presence of oxygen. In the presence of oxygen. Are you clear about that one? So you are heating the ore in the presence of oxygen to convert this sulfide ore to oxide ore. See this one. Here lead sulfide is there. Lead sulfide. That lead sulfide is converted to oxide ore. What you are doing here? You are adding oxygen to lead. What is oxidation? In your 8th class you studied. Oxidation is a process in which oxygen is added. Are you clear? You are adding oxygen to lead. So you got lead oxide. You got lead oxide and sulfur dioxide. So in the roasting process, what you will get? You will get sulfur dioxide gas as an impurity. Are you clear about that one? Sulfur dioxide gas is removed here. If any sulfur is present, impurity, okay, that is removed as sulfur dioxide. Are you clear? Okay, so this sulfide ore is converted to metal oxide. Are you clear? So this process is known as what is roasting. Roasting is a pyrochemical process. At the same time, calcination is also a pyrochemical process. Calcination is also a pyrochemical. What do you mean by pyrochemical? Which are involved with high temperatures. Which are involved with high temperatures. Are you clear about that one? So roasting is done in the case of sulfide ores. In the case of sulfide ores. Next, come to the next point, that is calcination. Calcination. Okay, what do you mean by calcination? See, heating the ore in the absence of oxygen or in the limited supply of oxygen. For example, you take the case of calcium carbonate. You are heating this calcium carbonate. What you will get? Calcium oxide plus carbon dioxide is formed. Do you understand the concept? Here, carbonate ore is converted to oxide ore. Are you clear? So, extraction of this crude metal involves two things. One is the oxidation, another one is the reduction. Oxidation, again a process of roasting, and it is a combination of roasting and calcination. Depending on the nature of the ore, we have to adapt either roasting or calcination. Generally, roasting is adapted in the case of sulfide ore, and calcination is adapted in the case of carbonate ore. Are you clear about that one? The ultimate result is you will get the metal oxide. In both the cases you are getting metal oxide. Are you clear about that one? So here what you are doing in the calcination process, you are heating the ore strongly. This calcium carbonate, whatever it may be, magnesium carbonate or whatever it may be, with the carbonate ore decomposes and gives carbon dioxide and metal oxide. So what do you understand by calcination? Calcination is a process or pyrochemical process. Is a process in which the ore is strongly heated in the absence of air. So when do we adapt this one? In the case of calcium carbonate, not only calcium carbonate, in the case of carbonate ores. We adapt this process. So one thing you have to remember, in roasting process, sulfur dioxide is formed. In the calcination process, carbon dioxide is formed. Are you clear about that one? So we concentrated the ore. Means unwanted impurities are removed. What are the different techniques in concentration? We will discuss later. Okay. So we removed the unwanted impurities. After that, what we are doing? Extraction of crude metal. In this process, what we are doing? Oxidation and reduction. In the oxidation process, we are adopting roasting and calcination. Roasting is a process, it is a pyrochemical process in which the ore is heated strongly in the presence of excess supply of oxygen. So there the sulfide ore is converted to oxide ore. Next, calcination. In the calcination process, we are heating the ore strongly in the absence of air. Okay, in the absence of air. There the carbonate ore is converted to oxide ore, metal oxide. Okay, you got the metal oxide. If any unwanted impurities are present, they are removed as the gases. Are you clear about that? Make a note to me. These two processes, what are the two processes? Roasting and calcination. These two processes are done in a furnace. We will discuss all these things later. In a furnace. Furnaces are of two types. One is the blast furnace. The second one is the reverberatory furnace. So what is a furnace? Furnace is a place where the ore is strongly heated. Where the ore is strongly heated. Are you clear? In Telugu, kolimi, kumpati antam kada, kolimi. Okay na? So where the ore is strongly heated, it is known as what we call it furnace. Okay, we will discuss all these things later. Not the oxide ore from the concentrated metal. Okay, for example, from lead sulfide, this is converted to lead oxide. Okay, so you need only this metal. You need, now listen to me. So you have to remove this oxygen. You have to remove this oxygen. So what you have to do? You have to add coke. You have to add coke. So coke serves as reducing agent, means it removes oxygen. What is formed? Carbon monoxide is formed. Next, you can use not only coke, you can use carbon monoxide also. You will get lead plus carbon dioxide. So now you got crude metal. Crude metal. Generally this crude metal is in the form, in molten form. Molten form. Are you clear about that one? So this process is known as what we call it a reduction. It is known as reduction. Reduction means, what do you mean by reduction? Reduction is a process in which hydrogen is added or oxygen is removed. You studied in your 8th class. Okay, so here what I am doing, I am removing the oxygen. I don't want any oxygen, I need only the metal. So which is present in excess? Oxygen is present in excess. So I have to remove that oxygen. So what I am adding? I am adding coke as the reducing agent. Coke as the reducing agent. This coke reacts with the oxygen and you will get lead, and carbon monoxide gas is removed. Or you can use carbon monoxide also as the reducing agent. If it is treated with lead oxide, that is metal oxide, you will get lead in the molten form and carbon dioxide gas is evolved. Carbon dioxide gas is evolved. So now you got, what is that? Crude metal, which is in molten form. Okay, first I told you what is meant by concentration. After that, how to extract crude metal, from the concentrated ore. There we discussed about oxidation and reduction. In oxidation we studied what is meant by roasting and what is meant by calcination. When do we adapt that is the roasting and calcination? In the case of sulfide ore, we adapt roasting. In the case of carbonate ore, we adapt calcination process. Are you clear? I will continue it in my next class. See, there are 4 techniques are there in the first process. What is the first process? Dressing the ore or concentration of the ore. What are the 4 methods? We use in the case of concentration of the ore? See, we will discuss in detail in the next class. But make a note of this. Concentration of the ore, it involves 4 methods. One is hand picking. Second one, washing with slow running water. This is also known as gravity separation. What we call it? Gravity separation. Gravity separation. The third one is froth flotation. What is that?
Froth flotation.
The fourth one is magnetic separation. These are the four methods we discussed in this session. Concentration of the ore, that is, one is the hand picking, second one is the washing with slow running water, this is also known as gravity separation, the third one is the froth flotation, the fourth one is the magnetic separation. We discuss all these things. When do we adapt these methods, we will discuss in detail in the next class. Okay.